when I was changing the color on this ship, I thought to go with the same color pattern that I have on the Balagorn. Thought to change the lights on the ship, while I did plan to keep the original Blood Raider camouflage. But on this ship I decided to go and paint one part of the ship in blood metallic red, while the other is in the default Blood Raider color. And well, the ending result is actually pretty good. I'm very happy and very satisfied with the color on the Ashimmu. Now I kinda wish that I did the same on the Balagorn, but to change the color on the Balagorn is now a little bit too late, because I already have the Nano cores highly leveled up and I don't wanna lose the bonuses. I think you lose the bonus if you disassemble the Nano core, but at the moment I don't wanna play around with that. Now, speaking about Nano cores, I did take a look at the cores that are available for the Ashimmu, and honestly I kinda don't like any of them. I believe the neon gas core is the one that's kinda the best, because it gives you bonus on neutralizer and Nosferatu range and strength, although the other ones are also decent. But this Ashimmu that I'm currently flying is a shield tank, and if I were to go full tank, then I'm kinda forced to go with armor, but I don't wanna go with a armor tank Ashimmu. So the other bonus that I would have to pick is speed or DPS or damage. But at the moment I kinda like where this Ashimmu currently is. Doesn't feel like the ship is lacking in any aspect. Now, the only thing that does kinda lack, I guess, is speed. The ship is still very slow, so I'm still working on the upgrades on the Ashimmu. That's one aspect of the ship that I want to improve. I'm personally aiming to go with at least 1.3 km per second with the afterburner on this ship, and that should technically completely replace the micro updrive on this ship. But again, we will see how that will go. Things might change as I develop the build. Well then, I guess it's time to jump in and let's blow up some ships with this vampire. Alright, adaptive fields are on, warping towards the location. Have dual webs, beam lasers, one Nosferatu and a point. Have an afterburner. The first target is a battleship. This is a Praxis. Okay, let's orbit. I did land a little bit close, but that's okay. I don't have a micro updrive to be worried about any scramblers. I will be in my optimal range very quickly. This Praxis seems to be tanky. My beam lasers seem to be scratching the surface of the shield. I would say that they have one reactive shield hardener. I have been scrambled, but afterburners are not affected by the scrambler, so I'm not too much worried about that. This is a big advantage of the afterburner. You get a speed boost and you don't have to worry about scramblers. And of course, you don't get a signature radius penalty. Perfect for speed tanking. Praxis is taking damage slowly. I have dual webs, mostly to hold the target, but can also be used as defense against other ships. Praxis holding very well. Now here is something that I noticed after recording. I use a faction drone, and I noticed that the Praxis is shooting at me, but it's not shooting at my ship, it's shooting at my expensive drone. And well, you can see how much damage my drone did take. Again, I'm completely unaware of my drone taking damage. That's a Federation Navy drone, quite pricey, and that drone is kinda going down. It's left in hull, but I haven't noticed that at this moment because I was too much focused on shooting this Praxis. Speaking of the Praxis, they are now slowly still losing shields. A very tanky Praxis indeed. They stopped shooting at my drone. They are now shooting at... not quite sure what they're shooting at. But in any case, they are not doing a lot of damage to any of our ships. Now the Praxis, as you can see here, can be quite tanky. There can be a good bait ship, and I personally plan to do something with them. Although I have to wait for the time to come for that. But I have a couple ideas that I wanna try out with the Praxis. As soon as they lost the shield, the armor and hull did go down very quickly. That was a very nice kill. Now the Praxis also has a very unique design. It looks actually pretty good. I like the design of that ship. Well then, let me take range and let's wait out the... Okay, warping towards the next target. Now throughout my PvP career I have participated in shooting down a lot of faction ships, a lot of faction battleships, and this one is going to be a little bit different. You're going to see what I mean later on, but now I am warping towards the target. I have an afterburner, dual webs, point, and of course the Nosferatu. Basically the classic Ashimmu build that I am using. The afterburner should give me a good speed tank, while my capacitor is going to be in a pretty good shape throughout this fight. Now this Rattlesnake has been using sentry drones. We did shoot down all sentry drones, so now the Rattlesnake is down only on the missile launchers. And I believe they are using rapid missiles, although they could also be using the normal large missiles, but I believe they are using rapid missile launchers. Both of our Blood Raider ships are equipped with a pretty decent tank. Both of our ships are equipped to be able to withstand a lot of damage, so one Rattlesnake should not be much of a problem, especially since the Rattlesnake doesn't have any drones now. The Rattlesnake does seem to have a decent tank, but I believe our Nosferatus should deplete the capacitor of the Rattlesnake in around 1 or 2 minutes, and after that you will notice the Rattlesnake should start taking more damage. At the moment the Rattlesnake is shooting at the Cruer. Not quite sure if the target painter is coming from the Rattlesnake. I think the target painter is coming from the Rattlesnake. Both of our ships are Blood Raider ships. The shield on the Rattlesnake is slowly going down. It also would look like the Rattlesnake did not pick up more drones, which is a big mistake. Always carry a lot of drones in your drone boats for situations like this where you actually need to use your drones. But in this case it is working in our favor. The Rattlesnake is slowly losing the shield. They are still shooting at the frigate. I can turn off my afterburner, but since I am already using capacitor And since the Rattlesnake already has a lot of capacitor left, so I can just keep on using the afterburner for a very long time. Afterburners are excellent to be used against battleships if you are in a cruiser, especially for the Ashimmu. A Rattlesnake is at around 54% shield. It is slowly going down. The capacitor is at 88%. And it would look like the Rattlesnake is empty. The capacitor of the Rattlesnake has been depleted because my Nosferatu doesn't recharge my capacitor anymore. That means that the Rattlesnake has a power outage at the moment, and you could notice a increase in the damage that we started to do on the Rattlesnake. The shield is the hard part, the armor and hull is the easy part on this Rattlesnake. In general, it's the easy part on all shield tank and cavalry ships. Now I did turn off my afterburner to save up my capacitor. Beam lasers use a little bit more power than the pulse lasers, so I have to be careful around my capacitor not to get too low. After all, the Rattlesnake has been depleted. They have a interesting nanocore, not quite sure which one is, not sure which nanocore this is, but I think it might be the Ascension nanocore, but I might be wrong. Or it might be a skin, but in any case, the Rattlesnake does look pretty good. Nice nanocore, or nice skin. The Rattlesnake losing armor around 45%. My capacitor is slowly going down, although it should stabilize itself at around 50%. On my Balagorn I have power grid rigs. On the Ashimmu I have... Actually no, on the Ashimmu I have power grid rigs. On the Balagorn I have capacitor rigs. Both work really well so far, although the Ashimmu could use a little bit of a upgrade on the capacitor. The Rattlesnake is now into hull. I did pull back my drone. It is a faction drone. I don't want to risk that expensive drone. A little bit of hull left on the Rattlesnake. Well, that was a very good fight. That was an excellent fight, actually. Now, I did say that this Rattlesnake was a little bit different. 6.2 billion, and we did get some B-type modules from this target. Now, I will go and loot the wreck. I'm very curious to see how much ISK did we get from that one Rattlesnake. And this is also going to be a good moment where I'm going to have a little upgrade for this ship. Now I am using C-type adaptives, but this Rattlesnake did give us B-types, so I guess I will be using that one B-type that I will keep from that wreck. So the Ashimmu is starting to become a expensive little ship. And honestly, I think the Ashimmu does deserve to get A-types and B-types, so I guess I will get A-types and B-types for the Ashimmu, because this is a very nice little boat. Well, not bad at all. Very satisfied with that loot drop that we got from that one Rattlesnake. might very well be one of the best loot drops from a Rattlesnake that we've ever had. Alright, well, let's prepare to go towards the next target. Let me align myself. Oh, already in warp. Okay, excellent. In warp, let's prepare the PvP overview. I think I need to change my PvP overview a little bit. Haven't been changing that for like 2 years, but I think I have to do some adjustments. We have a hurricane, and this time I warped a little bit close, but that's fine. They have been webbed, pointed. I will quickly go towards my optimal range. They are taking some shield damage. The capacitor on the hurricane is going to go low very soon. I should be safe at this distance. Don't need to use my micro warp drive to orbit. The hurricane has very good range on the autocannons, and they can be very dangerous ships. But my Ashimmu is built for tank. It's a very tanky Ashimmu, so it takes a little bit more DPS to break the tank of this ship. Let me just quickly shoot down that one frigate that did web me. They didn't scramble me, but still they did web me. So let me just shoot them down, and then we can wait out the criminal timer. My goal with the Ashimmu is to make it go around 1.3 kilometers per second with the afterburner. That would probably make me replace the micro warp drive, but at the same time the micro warp drive would give a significant speed boost. Now here we have one Cinnabal and one Vexor sniper. My initial target was the Cinnabal, but the Cinnabal did warp away. However, the Vexor sniper did decide to engage. They did engage first. They got the criminal timer. They have been webbed, pointed. Not sure why the Cinnabal warped away. I guess something happened. Vexor sniper going down. A little bit of hull left. And that was a nice target, nice kill. Well, my initial target, my original target in this case was the Cinnabal. The Vexor sniper did warp in unexpectedly, and the Cinnabal did warp away for some reason. Alright, let's prepare to go towards the next target, already into warp. You can notice that I switch builds on the Ashimmu quite a bit, mostly switching between the afterburner and the micro warp drive. It really depends on the target. For big ships and for snipers, the afterburner is excellent. For smaller ships, the micro warp drive with dual webs is actually pretty good. And we have another sniper. When I say against snipers, I usually mean ships with long range, not against sniper cruisers. Well, this one escaped. That's okay.
Warp drive active.
We are warping towards the next target. They are within the Serpentis small anomaly. I believe one of our buddies was tackled, was engaged by a small fleet. Well, one of them has already been destroyed. We have one more battlecruiser left. I did come right on time. They have been webbed, pointed. The capacitor will go down. The capacitor is usually depleted in around 30 seconds to 1 minute. On the Balagorn, it depletes a battlecruiser in practically 1 cycle. With the new Nano core, it depletes battleships very quickly. it depletes capacitors very quickly. And that was also a very nice kill. Well, that was a good fight. We did a good job actually. Not quite sure what the first ship was. Oh, it was a RB2 cover tops. Well, that was nice. Two nice targets. And now let's prepare for the next target. We have a battleship on the menu. I think it is a Raven. We are preparing for fleet warp. Everything should be set in place. Just waiting for the right moment. We have our tactics that I'll keep secret. But we have some very good tactics that we love to use, and they are highly lethal and highly effective. So far, at least so far it's been working very well. Alright, well, we are now into warp. We are going towards the Raven. They have been tackled. Okay, that was a nice warp-in, 22 kilometers, just the perfect range for me. They have been webbed, pointed. Hopefully this Raven is not a bait Raven. Bait Ravens can be very tanky. Well, they did have one shield extender, but it looks like this Raven is not a bait Raven, which is good. It means that it will go down very quickly. And nice, that was a nice target. Surprisingly, it did go down very quickly, faster than I have anticipated, but still a nice target and overall a nice kill. Alright, well, that was a lovely little run with the Ashimmu. This ship is surprising me every day. There's something about Blood Raiders that's still very special. The only faction that did not fail me. I have actually have a 100% success rate with Blood Raiders so far. These ships literally have never betrayed me, and that is actually very impressive. Well then, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.